Shalom, shalom. Call Halayim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Nacha Kodash and Shani Kabad Kadawala Rekwab Zakwanyam Nawa Wa Shalayakim Nawa. And that is double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And Shalawam Wabarakim Abakoyam Shalayasharala. And that is peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. And also may a double portion of the Holy Spirit be put upon the brothers that are out there on the highways and byways, offering your bodies as a living sacrifice out there on the front lines. So as many brothers have seen already, the apostles have made videos concerning how confusion of face means to be shamefaced, and it is not biblical that it's referring, that phrase, confusion of face, that it is not referring to Israelites in the fold that have the faith that may look like another nation. And so the reason why I wanted to make a video concerning this topic is because in the beginning of my videos, I would always say peace and blessings to the elect of Israel, and then also a peace and blessings to the confusion of faces that are amongst the fold. And of course, I was referring to, as many brothers, but I was referring to once again those Israelites that may not have the so-called typical Israelite brown skin kind of look, but they look like the other nations. And once again, that's not biblical. The confusion of face is referring to being shamefaced. So with that being said, I just wanted to dive into that topic really quickly, and I pray that it's edifying. So when I was looking up that word that Apostle Tahar went into, and I'm sure the other apostles in their videos, we know here in Daniel 9 and 7, the Hebrew word for confusion is bashath. So what we're going to do is first look it up in Daniel 9 and 7, and then we're going to look up the corresponding verses that also have that word bashath. And you're going to see that that Hebrew word bashath is also used for confusion in English, and it's also used for shame in English. So first and foremost, Daniel 9 and 7, we're just going to read the beginning phrase because we all know what the verse says. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces as at this day. So we go into the interlinear, linear. It says, belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion. So as you can see, it's H1322, and the word for confusion is bashath. So bashath, and as you already know, it means to be shameful thing. So it means to be shamed or ashamed. So now, like I said, that's for the English word confusion. So now what we're going to do is go into the book of Jeremiah, and we're going to grab two verses just to show that that Hebrew word bashath is used for not only confusion in English, but also shame in English. So we go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 3, just showing you that in Daniel 9 and 7, just more validation, because the scriptures say we go precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. So just to show you that it definitely does mean shame, here we go, Jeremiah chapter 3, and we'll get right to the point. Well, we'll read verse 1. They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers. Yet return again to me, saith the Lord. Now we jump down to verse 25. And, well, we'll read 24. It says, for shame hath devoured the labor of our fathers from our youth, their flocks and their herds, their sons and their daughters. Why is that? Because as a nation, we played the harlot, meaning we committed fornication, spiritual fornication with other gods. Verse 25 is the point. It says, we lie down in our shame, and our confusion covereth us. So it's saying the same thing. So now right here, we see the English word shame and confusion in verse 25. So when we look it up, for the English word shame right here, we see the same Hebrew word H1322, which is bashath, that we saw in Daniel 9 and 7. So the word confusion in English and the word shame in English in the Bible can be synonymous. And we go down and you can see it. It says shame. But of course, in Daniel 9 and 7, we looked up the English word confusion. Right here in Jeremiah 3 and 25, we looked up the English word shame. And it's both the same Hebrew word, bashath. And just to take it a step further, you see that in this same verse, it has the English word confusion in here as well. So it says, we lie down in our shame and our confusion covereth us. When we look up that word confusion right here in this verse, now it's a different Hebrew word. The Hebrew word is kalama, H3639, kalama, but it still means the same thing. It's the same definition: disgrace, reproach, or shame. And then it even says confusion, but shame. So it's the same thing in this verse right here. It may be a different Hebrew word, but it still means the same thing: shame. Okay. Now, if we actually jump over to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 7, we'll read verses 1 and 2. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, stand in the gate of the Lord's house and proclaim there this word, and say, hear the word of the Lord, all ye of Judah, that enter in at these gates to worship the Lord. Now we jump down to verse 19, and it says, do they provoke me to anger, saith the Lord? Now we're talking about Israel, right? Do they provoke me to anger, saith the Lord? Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces? You see right there. Now we look up the word. We're going to look up once again the English word confusion right here. Confusion, and we have, boom, H1322. It's bashath. And once again, it says shame. Okay. So I'm going to read that verse again. Jeremiah 7, verse 19. Do they provoke me to anger, saith the Lord? Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion or the shame of their own faces? Why is that? Because once again, we played the harlot with other gods. We committed spiritual fornication. We didn't obey the covenant that we made with Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. We didn't keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. And therefore, we were ashamed. We were ashamed in our own sins. Okay? So we put ourselves to shame. And that's what that phrase, if you will, is speaking about: confusion of face. Okay, being ashamed. Just for the sake of edification, we're just going to grab 2 more verses just because I wrote them down. But I'm pretty sure through the Spirit, the point has been made right here. But like I said, I wrote this down, so just still want to bring it out just because. Okay, so Psalm 44, verse 1. To the chief musician for the sons of Korah, Mashiel. We have heard with our ears, O power. Our fathers have told us what work thou didst in their days, in the times of old. Now we jump down to verse 15. We'll read verses 13 through 15. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us. Think about the curses. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. Already you can think about how we're being, or how we're ashamed. My confusion is continually before me, and the shame of my face hath covered me. Now verse 15 is comprised of 2 phrases saying the same exact thing. And you can see confusion in one phrase, and then you can see shame in the other phrase. Now we're going to look up right here the word shame, just showing the same exact thing. Okay, so shame, and we'll just get it right here. You can see bashath. Okay, bashath right there. Psalm 44 and 15. For the English word shame, we have bashath, which means to be shamed. Okay. And then very, very last precept, just to be repetitive on purpose, Psalm 109, verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David, hold not thy peace, O power of my praise, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are open against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue. We jump down to verse 29. It says, let mine adversaries be clothed with shame, and let them cover themselves with their own confusion as with a mantle. Now, this time in Psalm, instead of looking up the word shame, like we did in Psalm 44, verse 15, now we're going to look up the English word confusion. Okay, and we're not going to click it. Once again, we see it right here. The English word confusion in Hebrew is bashath, which of course we know means shame. So just to be repetitive once again, Daniel 9 and 7, we understand that that's referring to being shamefaced. Confusion of face means to be shamefaced. And as you can see by the many verses through the Spirit that we went through, then the Hebrew word bashath, you can find that for 2 English words as of right now from what I've seen. At least 2 English words, which are confusion and shame, showing that they mean the same thing. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that out. And of course, I won't be saying peace and blessings to the confusion of face in my videos anymore, because there's no need. All of us are confusion of face. We're all ashamed. We've all been shamed because, of course, we've all sinned. That's why we're in the predicament that we're in right now. We're in the situation that we're in. So peace and blessings to all the elect, all right? The elect out of the nation of Israel. And with that being said, once again, I pray that this video is edifying. I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachah Kodash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.